I want to start out by saying this is not my idea. Heard this on the Michael Kay show on 98.7 ESPN in New York. I don't remember the caller that called. It's sports talk radio. There we go. And a caller called in saying the Giants and the Jets need to play more, which was kind of the theme of the whole show. But um, the point that he made specifically was that the NFL has an extra game with it being 17 weeks. And currently, that 17th game is used for a matchup with the opposing conference's team of the same rank, according to record in the previous season. So the best team in the NFC plays the best team in the AFC, second best AFC, second best NFC, and so on down the row. And while I think that's a decent idea, I do like the idea of having a rivalry week throughout the season. And it's not going to be a great rivalry for a lot of teams, right? You're going to have teams that match up that I don't think are as great of a rival as it could be. But I think you could find cross-conference rivals, and maybe some of those teams rotate every other year or something like that, that really would kind of foster this community rivalry that I think a lot of other sports have, the NFL struggles with. Like, for example, you look at baseball, right? The Mets and the Yankees, they play at least once every year. The Giants and the A's now play at least once every year. The Dodgers and the Angels play at least once every year. The Royals and the Cardinals play at least once every year, right? In basketball, it's pretty much the same thing. Every inner city rivalry plays once. The Lakers and the Clippers play at least once every year. They're in the same division, so they play even more. The Nets and the Knicks, they're in the same division, so they play even more, right? In the NFL, you have teams that are in the same local that end up in different conferences and they don't play enough. The Giants and the Jets play once every 4 years. The Raiders and the 49ers play, well, the Raiders are no longer in Oakland, but nonetheless, the Raiders and the 49ers play once every 4 years. The Rams and the Chargers play once every 4 years. And I think improving upon that and fostering those local rivalries, I think would really help the sport grow in terms of its locality. It has the national brand, but I think the sport has not really accessed the local rivalries that college football and even baseball tend to prey upon. So how would that look like, right? Obviously, you want the inner city rivalries. Those are fairly established, right? You'd want the Jets and the Giants. You'd want the Rams and the Chargers. You'd probably want the Ravens and the Commanders, right? DC, Baltimore. You'd probably want, I say this tentatively, yes, you probably want the Raiders and the 49ers. Even though the Raiders are in Vegas, they're still fairly close to San Francisco, and that rivalry is still there in the Bay. Houston and Dallas, I think, is an easy choice because they're both in Texas, right? But from there, it gets complicated. Philly and Pittsburgh, I should say, are definitely a matchup. The Battle of Pennsylvania, Detroit and Buffalo are pretty close geographically. I think that could work. The problem is with the rest of the teams, and I think this would maybe need some rotation, but I think those are enough to provide a reason to do this for the 17th game. And maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think this could be a good idea for the NFL. Now, if I had to pair it, I'm just roughly going off of a chart of NFL teams I have on the other page. You probably go Tampa and Miami. They're both Central South Florida teams. And of course, this is assuming one NFC and one AFC team. So you'd probably go Jacksonville, Atlanta. You have Jacksonville right next to Atlanta, Carolina, and New Orleans. And so that's where it becomes tough. There's a lot of centralization. For example, the NFC North is all bunched up right together. Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, they're all right there. So we let's say Atlanta and Jacksonville. That leaves the ones we have unpaired: Seattle, Denver, Arizona, Minnesota, Kansas City, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Chicago, Green Bay, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Carolina, and New Orleans. I want to put Tennessee and Carolina together. Tennessee borders both North Carolina and, oh no, it doesn't border Louisiana, it borders Mississippi. Maybe you go Titans Saints. It's either Titans Saints or Titans Panthers. That's a tough one right there. That's a tough one. Those states are not that conducive to this. I assume you have to go Seattle, Denver just because of proximity. And then there's a Russell Wilson vibe for at least the next few years. Same with Cardinals and Chiefs. I don't love that matchup, but I think it's just the Cardinals are not close to any other AFC team if you take Denver off the board. So you'd have to go Cardinals, Chiefs. So that leaves Vikings, Packers, Bears, Colts, Bengals, Browns, I think. If we have, oh, and then we got the Patriots. The Patriots and the Panthers. Ooh, this is maybe not the best plan. I'm gonna say Patriots, Panthers, even though that's not really close. I'm gonna say Cleveland, Chicago, because I think that's a good matchup, just in my head. I'd have to say, oof. I'd have to say Cincinnati and Green Bay, and then Indianapolis and Minnesota, just because I don't know. Maybe you do Indy and Green Bay, just because they have history with Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers both being there for a while, even though they're both not there anymore. I don't know. This is tough. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to try to put this image up so you can kind of see what I'm thinking as I go through this. Let me know if you think this is a good idea to add to the NFL season. I think it's good. I think it needs some more thinking than I'm giving it on this video, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this quick thoughts episode. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.